a test. I'm just testing out some things to make sure that the things I want to see, I am seeing. Okay, if I go back to my project management documentation, as you see here, I was going through how I was going to implement a form that will allow us to see whether or not we are in budget to either extend a project or to open up a new project on a current customer. Okay, excuse me, I'm clearing my throat. I'm getting over a cold. So, one of the things I wanted to do was okay, looking at our document here, it states that okay, I will be going into the the project control form. All right, and in the project control form, what I will be doing is basically clicking this project budget button. Right now, when I click this project budget button, it will open up uh, this form here. Okay, and the whole purpose of this form is to see exactly what we need to do in order to um, work on a particular project. So what I would do is basically, and it's going to be based on what this so go back to design view, uh, what this form brings back. Okay, so I need to um, establish a clear understanding. So when I click the project button, I'm gonna go in here in my events, and it says project out control. So it's gonna open up this form here. Let me close this form out. It's gonna open up the form. Okay, it's gonna open up this form here. Now, once it opens up this form, what's going to happen is that I have to determine what project um, I'm going to be auditing. Okay, so the thing is that assuming that there is a project open for this database, we need to know what the budget is like. Now, what we was discussing before is whether or not we're going to include a button on this and create a new form. And within this form, once we create this button based on these requirements, so first of all, if there isn't a project number associated with um, this customer, okay, it could be internal, external. Um, I need to allow myself something in here which would let me know that whether or not this is an external or internal project, and whether or not and what department, okay, it's associated with, if that applies. Okay, um, but I can do that. Okay, so that's being more detailed. But whenever you're designing something, you have to make sure that the things you are working on, you get all of those factors out of the way. Okay, so that's is the main purpose of us having this flow chart. All right, creating this flow chart so we can flow everything out before we just start inventing stuff. Now, you can do that. Just create a form and put some buttons on there and open fields just to query through a table, or you want to do some type of data analysis like that, on a group of tables. But if you're creating something that's complex, as my project management database system, you need to have a clear understanding the direction you want to go and the ending results. What do you want the ending results to display? Okay, and if it's multiple factors, you would need to flow it out first. Write it out, flow it out, then design it. Okay, then you test it. Okay, you do your QA on it. All right, as you start designing your database. Okay, you always break it up in sets, and each module, whether or not it's you have a central repository of tables, or you have different tables, and you have them set aside in different databases or repositories. Okay, so once that is established, okay, what we're doing here, so I say we're going to click the project button, and then once we click the project button, okay, it's going to generate this form. Okay, so I just want to go back, so click this button. It's saying that once I click this button, it's going to go to the control. Okay, project account auto control, and once it does that, um, go ahead to that one. Uh, okay, go to that. Da, da, da. Let's go to this form here. Okay. Now, once I click, once I look at this and I try to pull up a form, okay, because I want to get information about this customer. I want to find out whether or not, um, this particular client, we're going to be budgeting, okay, or if we're within budget, outside of budget. So I can do one or two things, okay, on this form here. This is a new form here, right, that I created, and it's there are going to be a couple of things I'm going to need to do. Okay, the first thing that I think I'm going to need to do is to find out whether or not I want to display. Let me see here. Let me go back to our forms, and okay, so I want to find out. So this is a project. Make sure I don't already have it. County project tracking funding, which is this form here. Okay, so if I open up this form here, go back to it, and I want to make sure that I'm seeing what I need to see, because some of the information I don't need to be looking at. I just want to look at key elements of what is needed in order for me to start working on this project or have an extended um, project being worked, or try to open up a extended project associated with this project. Okay, so what it is that okay, I will look at this form here, okay, and it'll tell me whatever it is, okay, and this is basically project tracking and funding summary, and it tells me exactly what the quarterly amount is, and the budget amount and everything like that. This will have to be fed back after we start working on the project. Um, and then the accounting section, what they would do, they'll come in and they'll start adjusting these numbers based on what's coming in the door. Okay, the finance coming in the door, and then it talks about the budget for that particular department. Okay, the monthly, whatever it is. Okay, so so what we're gonna do is like going back to this here. Now, the thing is, as I described, once I click on um, this particular button here, because I want to say customer project account, a customer project account budget, and Once I look at that, okay, it comes up, it brings up this audit, right? Now, what I wanted to do, okay, once I click this button, when it pulls up this form, I want that particular record, okay, to be inserted into this particular table. All right, or a table that this isn't associated with. Now, I think I had a new table for this. Let me look at it right quick. Um, look at this table. I think I already have it up. Okay, so I already had a table. So, so this table right here actually tracks the project. Okay, you know, what signs after this project has been assigned, it it initiates the fact that okay, this project has been assigned to um, to be worked. Okay, and it been approved, and it went through all the steps in order for it to be used. Okay, now what I want to do after that, and I'm gonna go back to my document, my project document. Um, this table, and I think there's a table. I don't know if it's the table I was just looking at. Let me see. Because one of the tables didn't have any data in it. Okay. So tracking project. There's another table that I was working with. I just want to see right quick. Because it's pulling this data from here. Table need to be loaded for current record project. Sorry for me doing. Table need to be loaded with the current record. Okay, so which is the current record, and then from that, I want that record to be loaded into another table. Now I had the table that it should be loaded into. I'm just going to go down and see exactly what table I had associated those steps in. Um, I don't think I was going down this far. Funding form. This is audit, project audit. Audit table. Let's see, let me go back up and see that I have that in there. Because I know everything associated with that. So, go back up. So what I'm going to do is, I think that is the table I was associated with. But let's pull this down and see. Okay, so I can either do that or I can just project. Okay, I think that's the same table. Master account tracking project audit. Okay, so this is the tracking. Okay, this is the audit table. Okay, so this particular table here is what need to be loaded. All right. So once we pull, to copy this. So the new form that I was just displaying, which is this form here, all right, has to be associated with this table. Or could that be right? Okay, so, or I think I was saying something like, once I said this table, that record be audited, then I will say, create a button that say, hold on, let me go to my form, my thing. Okay, so once I have, let's see, do 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 29, and I just want to make sure, checking audit. Um, okay, so audit to table, data from. Okay, so push button. Button will generate this form, which data is being based on the. Okay, so it's not being based on this table here. Okay, so control form. Okay, this control form here. Alright, okay, because I want to make sure this is right in my document. So once I put, this data is not there, so this, where's the table? Let me see, where's the stuff at? Okay, so this table, copy. Okay, so this table, alright, this is audit, make sure it's right, master accounting, tracking, project audit. Okay, so this table, so why? Okay, give me some time to think what I just did, because the one of the tables was not being populated. I'm trying to make sure that's the table. We're just looking at the table too. So this is the table, and this table doesn't have any data in it. Okay, this table doesn't have any data in it, right? And I was looking at project audit. So what's the difference between this table and this one? Amounts of accounting, tracking, project audit, and then this other table that I'm gonna have to go through the steps again. Okay, so let me go back. And like I say, that's why you want to go through and look at everything before you start programming, okay? Because if you don't do it, you got to make sure all the dots are, the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. Because if you don't, you're going to be really, really messed up when you try to initiate something. You'd be reinventing this and reinventing that, and that's something you don't want to do. So, what I'm going to do here. Okay, so this table. Oh, yeah. This event associated with this form. So I'm going to make sure I have this form. Bing. Why did I do that? this table. So this table goes this, and the table that's in question. So I have this table on it, and I have tracking. Okay. So what is the tracking? So let me do this here. Okay, one is this and one is audit. Okay, so that's what I did. So I gotta copy this. So one is tracking, and then one is audit. All right. So what it is that, like I was saying, I didn't put the tracking here. The table. So the tracking table, which I didn't put in here. Is the tracking table. Like I save a lot more time if I just went to it. Okay, so this is the tracking. Copy. Da, 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 da. Let's be the tracking. So I have the tracking. Right. So this table, right? The tracking project table will populate the audit table, the record that will be needed to, with the record that would be evaluated, will be evaluated. Okay. All right. So that's it. So let me save this. So what we're doing is that, and I got to make sure that form that we're using to evaluate that table. So once we click this particular table here, okay, this is the audit table and this is the funded, okay, this table here, okay, was the tracking table, and then once we click this button here, all right, which we're going to do right now. Oh, we're not going to push, we're just going to look at the form. Once we click that button, okay, the event is to open up this audit form, right? Now this audit form has that same data, right? Okay, which we're gonna look at. So it'll open up that audit form. So we're going to initiate that. Go ahead. Let's see. Go back. It's going to open up this form here, which I know I already have it open, but just okay. Funding audit. Where's the audit form? The project funding audit. It's audit control. So what is this here? It's the form. Let's see. It's gonna open up this form. Okay. Now, customer county audit form. And this form, it's holding that data. So, and that. So if I open up this form, see what they have. What form that is. So if I open up this form view, okay, it shouldn't have anything in there at all, right? Okay. So it's going to open up this form here. Okay. So it says on this form, audit form. Okay. But see, the thing about it, before we even do that, we need to consider the fact that um, if once okay, once if we look at this record, okay, and we decide that okay, over this form. Okay, if we're looking at this form, this record here, and we decide we want to audit this record, okay, on what we're going to do is once we say customer project count budget, right? We don't want this opening up that audit form because see that's not even really necessary at this point. So we just want to look at the budget. So if I say customer project account budget, I want to make sure that we're going in the right direction. All right, because customer project account budget. So if I open up this right here, if I open up this form, go to event, and go here, and it's going to open this audit form. Okay, so and I'm gonna go ahead and do. Let me see. I'll make sure it might be already open because I don't want to keep. Let me see funding audit. So it's right here. So what it is that so it's gonna open this audit form. Go to form view. And it's gonna look at this. So it's gonna have to populate this form, right? Right. Okay. And with the data that we'll be populating, that we will be looking at. Okay, so um, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and open the form. So this is okay. So I was thinking, I'm just thinking about something because we're going to click this. This is going to open up this. Okay, and make sure. Okay, it's going to open up this. Where are you? It's going to click that. It's going to open up this. And what I'm only doing is researching the budget. So I'm going to have to put some more information here. Okay, so it's going to have to be determined whether or not this project's even suitable, okay, to be evaluated. All right. So um, once it opens up this form here, I'm gonna have to put some more data in here. All right, because if we're not going to audit this record, or we see that as over budget, whatever the situation may be, it's not. It's really not even necessary for us to even, you know, like go into any other um, activity concerning this. All right, so um, and I can just look at the table itself, right, and make sure. Okay, so this is the table, county tracking project. So I can look at the table itself, and I'm looking at it from here because it's going to need to populate this information, just the information that we need to find out exactly what's going on with this record. So of course we're going to know the approvals, right? We're going to pull in all the information. Okay, who's the account manager, who approved it, and everything like that. Because see, we're going to find out some information based on if we have to do any historical research on this particular project to find out whether or not it's satisfying a list of requirements that we set to see if we can spin off on this project to a subsequent a sub project or a project associated with this to keep the ball moving. Okay, and like I say again, all the stuff will be based on costs. All right, so this particular table is actually like setting up the project. Okay, the next one will be basically determining what the budget is going to be. All right, and that would be particularly. Uh, let's see, right? This right here. Let's see. Let me go ahead and I think I already had this table up. Okay, be based on this, right? So if I'm looking at this, I don't think I'm trying to make sure. Cause like I said, I don't want to go off into something that's really okay. This way, let's talk about the resources, comments, role, all this stuff like that. Completed. Okay, so this table does not even hold the cost at all. Okay, so if I'm looking at this particular table here, okay, it has the same thing. Okay, but what we're going to be doing is that I may have to add a field, okay, in here to specify the fact that this record, okay, is like I said, pending approval. Okay, project status, pending waiting approval, verifying build account information, waiting approval. and this is the audit one. Okay, so I might have to put something in this particular table saying project bill status, project status, or I might say project status. We'll have these here, okay, and it's appended. Then I can say, and I can add some here saying um, account being audited. Okay, if the account being audited, I can put a freeze on the record. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Pending whatever the situation. I can add some more information here. Okay, so that is one of the solutions. Okay, so once I look at this record, okay, and I decide the fact that okay, um, what is the current status of this customer, this project? Okay, are they in arrears and paying, or whatever the situation is, or they under budget, they're over budget? We can decide whether or not we want to extend the project out or not, or we need to go to the customer and say, listen, okay, we need this done, you need this done, and this done. It's going to cost X amount more on your budget. I mean, on your expenses, and we'd like to know: do you want to go in that direction? What you want to do, or do you want us to retool the whole, the whole project to fit your budget? And of course, they're going to ask us, okay, what are you talking about? And we can sit down and we can go over some different scenarios to determine exactly what we need to do in order to complete the project within the customer's budget. Okay, but all these things need to be um, really evaluated within the first couple of weeks. Okay, because of the fact that you don't want to get too deep into the project and then you find out, oh wow, we're going this is going to be over budget. We have to approach the customer again to tell the customer, hey, listen, we're gonna need to do this, we need to do that. It's gonna cost some extra. Then you do all this work, and the client just say, you know what, scrap it. Okay, it's too much. We already put too much money into it. It's taking too long, or whatever the situation may be. So you want to have um, all that information up front. Okay, before you even start working. That's why when I created this project management database, I want it to be something that I can train an independent business consultant that's working on a project. They can pick with this tool, they can put the information in. Once they put that information in, and then they go out to the customer and say, okay, listen, they generate an invoice, they give it to the customer look at it, and then from that point, they can go um, into a contract agreement with the customer, and then wait for the funding. Okay, and then let them know exactly when the project will start and how they're going to keep them up to date on what's going on throughout the life cycle of the project. Okay, until its birth. Okay, into the company's um, repository. Okay, so that is what we need to do. Okay, so going back to my document here. All right, what I need to do is set up some steps, and I also want to have to. I'm going to have to set up a form and everything like that. Okay, I'm going to create a form, and I'm going to do some tests. Okay, then once I do these tests, um, I'm gonna come back on the system and let you see where I am, so that if you have any questions, let me know. Again, you can go out to our business blog site, and you can pretty much once you go out to our business blog site, you can determine what you want to do, how you want to work with it. So I'm gonna go out here, and like I said, it's Tap Talk Groups Shepherd Family. And then once you get on, you can go out to our business website, and you can actually look at this. And I have a site in here talks about our project management database system, And you can go in there and you can ask questions, and if I need to lock it down, I create a area where I can lock it down where only the people that actually be able to look at it are the ones that signed up. Anyway, you can't get into the database unless you sign up. All right. So, to our business belongs unless you sign up. So once you sign up, and then other things start happening. All right. So, let's see something. Okay, business tips and business services. Okay, so many things I haven't really set up. Well, they set up, but I just don't have them open. So that I'm trying to go to my project management database system here, this right here, and this area right here is where I would be talking about a lot of different facets. Okay, I haven't created a topic yet because a lot of the stuff I have is basically what you see here. Um, I have a couple of my videos out here, and anything I need to talk about, usually that's what I do. I put the video out, and then if you decide you would like to go and comment on it, then you can go ahead. Then you can, submit your questions and answers so that then we can talk about it here, and then I can do a live chat or whatever if I get enough people together to ask them different questions, and then we can have a forum. And if they need additional training, then we'll set them up, and then I'll let them know the costs of that as well. Okay. But your contributions is always welcome, and that will reduce the cost of us having an open class on my project management database system, troubleshooting, anything like that. Um, and those of you who are make large contributions to the Shephard enterprise, of course, after you get to a certain point, your involvement would be free. Okay, because you'll be a sponsored contributor to our organization. All right. So again, I'm going to pause this, and then once I set everything up, okay, and then I will come back and we will see exactly where we are. Okay. All right. Be right back. Okay, this is what I discovered. All right. Now, based on the details that I see, okay. So what I want to do basically is that I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go to the design view, and then we're gonna go back to the control menu, and I'm gonna step through this. Okay, so the whole concept of this is, like I stated before, is to find out whether or not we can expand on what we're doing. All right, as far as working on the project, everything is based on a budget. Okay. Now, when I click this project budget button, it should give me basically a summarized version of whatever's in this, all these different functionalities. Okay, which a lot of these buttons do not work. Um, so when I say okay, so when I say okay, if I go here, I'm gonna open this form view right quick. Okay, if I go here and I say okay, I need to find out. I want to do. I want to audit a particular project. Okay, I want to see what's going on with it. Okay, so it can be a lot of different things. Okay, I can click part of the timelines, whatever the situation may pull me back to this, whatever the situation is. But the point is, I need to find out more information. Okay, before I make a decision. So I click on the project um, button. Okay, project budget button. Now, in this project button, okay, it's bringing me to this screen here. All right, which is no problem. And every customer has anything we work on has a customer number. So I put this customer number in, and it could be I can have a audited project number. If it is, this does not have a project number, so of course um, it shouldn't even be audited. All right, but because if we want to find out exactly what's expenditures of this right here, I can put the customer number in. Now from this, I'm supposed to be able to click a button because this is the customer of interest. Okay, if I click this, it's telling me, it says the project's not worked. I want to find out more information about what's going on. Okay, so I need to create a button that will open up a form that will give me a upper level summarized version of what's going on. Okay, and this is going to be a form, and within this form, it's going to give me a basic outline, and I should have buttons on that one line description that would expand on other items of concern. But just give me a summarized version, okay, of what's needed, okay. But um, so give an example. I'm gonna go back to the design view on this right here. Okay, design view on this right here, and I'm going to say assume that this is the customer of interest. I pulled in this customer, and I say create a button. Should a button? Yeah. Okay, I create a button, and I can say see details. I'm not gonna put that on there. It's gonna be no record selection. It's gonna be a record operation, form operation. So what I want this thing to do. So record form operation, open the form. Okay, it's gonna open the form. Open the form. I don't know if form is gonna open, but there. Report operation applications, print the form. So open the form. So next, I don't know what form it's gonna be. Okay, so anyway. Um, so this right here, okay, so this is embedded macro. We're just trying to say form name, okay, form worksheet based. No, that's not even fucking form name. That ain't this. It is trying to do something, but you know. So because what happened? Oh shit. What happened is that it's going based on what something else is going on. So, but that's not what I want it to do. So we got no picture. Command name. It's a button. BTN. Let me see. Oh fucking name, man. Why do that? Let's see. Let's see. Project. Tails. And I'm gonna give it a number. I'm gonna say XX 02. Okay. Caption. Let's say review. record details. Okay, no picture, image. I don't want any image. And that's out. I don't want an image. Let me get this review. Visible image. No picture. I keep trying to put a picture on there now. Okay, so my thing is what type of details I want to see. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do, we're gonna have to figure out. Okay, now we want this, um, you know, times. Make sure I got my stuff to be new times New Roman. Of course, it's gonna be black. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, how about the outline? Outline, I want to be thick. Okay, I want to be thick. Okay, so it's gonna say review. Say make it the button. Fashion shape, outline. They got any type of form. Make the button look different. Okay. Okay, so okay, so it's gonna say review record details. Go here. I don't know how this is gonna look right now. Form. Because everything's pushed to the right or left, right? I'm gonna move all this over. Because it's all over the place. Right? It's not centered at least. It don't matter right now. So this is gonna be the center of the record. I can move a lot of this over. Boom, boom, whatever. That. So this, that. Okay, that's okay. I'm not even gonna worry about that. Okay, so it's gonna say record details. So now, when I click this button, okay, it's got to generate some data, okay, based on this. So I got to go out and I got to find exactly what data I actually want to see and then put it in my PowerPoint, okay. So I know, okay, once I click this, it's going to give me this, and it can generate this form, right? Um, you know, like just stated before. So go to design view. Once I click this button, okay, the event, project control, right? It's right there. Okay, so it's this this opens this project control, right? Okay, once I click that button, Let's see, customer research audit form. Right. Okay, click review record details. Sorry about that. Okay. And once I do that, okay, once I do that, this record will have to generate certain data. So what I need to do is to look at a couple of the forms and find out exactly what data I want to see. Now, this particular the customer audit form, which we was looking at previously, whereas this now, um, let's see something here. Form view. Okay. All right. Okay. So it's gonna open up this form for sure. Design view. All right. For sure. Audit. So when I say review details, it's gonna open up this form. Okay. Now in the table that has this data, okay, well in this table, it doesn't have any data. All right. So what I have here, I'm going to have an embedded record set in here that I can make adjustments to this record based on what's going on. So I may either have to put the record on hold. When I put it on hold, it'll lock the record so they can't make any changes to it, or they can't do nothing to it. They can't update the record. They can't do anything because the record will be locked, and it will show a message saying that record is locked pending accounting audit. You know, that's it. Okay, so um, so so once you click that button, it's gonna open up this form. Okay. All right. So it's gonna open this record. Okay. Which I'm about to put in here. My record. Um. So click record until. Now, once it generates this form, now mind you that the data is not no. There's no data in this table. Okay. So what we're gonna have to do is basically, before we even update the record, all right, we're going to have to load data into that table and then generate that record. Okay, um, so I'm sending data. I'm going to say this record here. Grab this. So I'm going to put in here. Okay, form. Um, okay, so I'm going to say um, this this table will need this table will be needed. This table will need. This table will need to load. Need to load. Um, pertinent. Okay. All right. So it opens this form. Right. It opens this form. All right. And this is a table. Okay. This table will be needed to load. This table will. This table will be needed to be loaded with any. This table will be needed. Be needed. Needed. And be loaded. And be loaded with any or all pertinent information pertaining to the record department. Okay. All right. That's is what needs to be done. So, all right. Okay, so that should be it for right now. Okay. I would say thank you very much for make sure. Yeah, thank you very much for attending this session. I have a lot to go over. All right. So okay. So what I've discovered is that I have the basis of everything already put together. So the end result is that I'm going to have to generate a form. I mean a table. Okay. And whenever we look at this table, okay, because this table right here, it don't have any data in it. So what's going to happen is that once we click on review record, it's going to generate this customer accounting audit form. Okay. And in this form here, okay, as we know, as I know, at this particular time. Um, there's some information in this table I may have to change. Okay, maybe. But like I said, there's nothing in this table at all. So I'm going to look at this data. I'm going to look at it right now. I'm going to open it up, design view, and look at it. So it's nothing in there. So based on the information I see here, all right. So based on information I see here, looking at let's say this project condition, owner, project number, day, resource level. It has some information. It may have some personal information in, but like I said, I got the information out of from some of the open date, department over date, monthly open date, monthly cash, invoice number. Okay. Um, okay, so I am going to have to see where's the table at. Okay, so within this form here, which I know, like I say, there's nothing in this. Okay, let me close the table first. I close the table. Table. Okay, I close this table. I don't need this open either. So when I open this form up, number one, all this is gonna have to be generated. Even though I know that, um, even if I push this button here, it's supposed to, it's gonna give me some other work details. Okay, so and there can be a lot of analytical stuff going on. But this right here is on the accounting side. Okay, this is not on the project management side. This is the accounting side, and all these things will have to be evaluated based on a lot of different things. Okay, so I will have to come up with some type of strategies of what the person that's actually evaluating the customer record on any level, what type of decision they need to make, okay, based on what they see. So the person that's actually going through this will have most definitely have to have an accounting background and have to be a business analyst, some type of sort of business analyst experience, and see exactly what's going on because you don't want an account to be open for too long and with a running open balance. Okay, you want them to be able to have everything current, everything like that, or the record will have to be locked. Okay, so and in this position right here, we need to be able to do that. All right. Um, we should be able to go in here and say, okay, we're going to do this customer here. We about to lock this record, okay, or we about to do something, And we're gonna have these. I'm gonna have this right here. Gonna be a subform here and a table or whatever record set that have all the information in here, and then I'll be able to scroll back and forth with it and be able to look at what I need to look at. Some of this information right here may be operational, maybe not. I'm not even going to guess it, right now because it really doesn't make any sense to even think about that. But this information is good. This is information we need to look at before we make any decisions. And if we need to create something else and subsequent to this right here, like take out some of this information right here, we might leave it open. I might create something else, to say, okay, push a button right here and say, okay, um, to update the table or, run something after hours and stuff like that, to run totals and everything like that, whatever the situation is. Um, that would be on, like I said again, that would be on the accounting side, not on the project management side. So that is where we are right now. And I see that I have a lot of work ahead of me, okay, to get this part moving forward. All right. And also remember is that even while I'm doing this, uh, you know, I'm doing this information, I'm doing everything I just explained to you, and now I'm showing you. Even though all this information is here, and we have to do populate all this information once we run it, um, and like I was explaining that some of this information, on this form will not be able to be used because it's not necessary. Um, but we just want to be able to look at a customer record, all right, review the details of the record, and once we review the details of the record, come up with a decision, all right. And in this, I can say I can actually change this account project. I can change some of this around because we probably don't need it. I may leave it on there just for a point of reference, but just add a couple of buttons here, and that will describe some other information pertaining to this record. Okay, updating the record so that um, it's seen on different tiers, accounting tiers. So we just need to figure out exactly what we're going to be doing and how we're going to get this done. Okay. Okay. So that is it for right now. And then, as you know, whenever you make changes, I create the video, but I will be updating my document as I go back over my video before I publish it and put all the information into the record. So the next time we talk and we meet, I'll be able to show you exactly the structure and how I went about completing this assignment. And as we move on, so that you can actually work on your database or get your ideal of what you need to do in order to be successful in working with your clients as a business consultant. Okay? All right. Thank you very much for coming out, and hopefully, I'll see you during the next training session. Okay, so this is going on so far. What I'm planning on doing is I had to set up some couple of things. I had to reactivate this whole system and restart a new test because of the fact that it was giving me a variation of sound pitches. Okay, and it had a lot to do with how I was basically um, uh, plug it into my headphone device. Okay, but once I got that to sync up with the application, it was working. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna go into my document, back into my document, so we can figure it, so we can see exactly where we are right now to this point. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, we're gonna go to go back to the document, and I don't want us to lose. I do not want us to lose our train of thought, because the train of thought is we want to make sure whenever we are working on a project, the project is in scope of what we initially planned it out to be. And now, if the scope changes, then what we need to do is go back to the database, okay, the project management database, and make those adjustments so that everything as far as funding is being accounted for. All right. So, um, knowing that, and going back to my form, and I had to rearrange some things too, how I go about setting the menu, because I want to make sure these things right here are in sync to what we need done. All right. So, going back here, like even though today is the 30th, okay, I'm still talking as if it's the 29th, but it's the 30th. But um, as far as the documentation, so that I reassess that later. Okay. What is this in my drink? I don't know what that is. I thought it was. That's alright. I ain't worried about it now. Mm, 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 I put some gaps in between here. You see what I'm doing? Yeah, you see what I'm doing. So after the spaces in there, yeah, okay, that's good now. And I'm gonna pull this over some more. All right, save this. Save it. Okay, so there's some things that we need to be staying in sync with. Okay, and the thing that we're trying to stay in sync with is actually within our PowerPoint flowchart, right? So what I have come to the conclusion is that number one is once I click on this project button, it's going to generate this customer, and I'm going to bring it so you see it. This customer project account budget, okay, the customer research audit form. Okay, so on the customer audit form, which we have here, okay, this form here, primary purpose is for us to be able to look at a project, all right. Once we look at a project and say, okay, this is the document, this is the customer record that we want to look at, and as we look at that, we look for other indicators as well. So I'm going to open this form up, and as you see, what I'm going to do, okay, let me go ahead and open it. So what I'm going to do is, this is the customer number, right, that we are primarily trying to associate with this project. So I'm going to click here. All right, so I'm looking at this, and the first thing I notice is that on this form, because this is what we're doing an audit on, okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back in design mode because everything starts here, okay. So what it is that I'm gonna go back to the form view, all right, and I'm gonna say, okay, we would like to do some modifications to the way we are processing this project. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm going to click the project button, okay, and once I click the project button, as this flowchart is indicate the project budget button, it uh, it generates the customer project account budget form, okay, customer research audit form, all right, which we have here, all right. So once we're looking at this form, all right, and we want to know um, what is it that we need, all right. So we put in this customer number, all right. Now this is all test data, so don't worry about it. And I click this, and then it shows me exactly where I am within this particular project, okay. So I have the probit set sequence number. Now the probit set sequence number is very important, all right, because if the sequence number changes, all right, and this is a part of the project that we are working, and let's say it's a set sequence is different than the project number itself, okay, we have to take an account of that, okay. Now the accounting section will actually be able to identify all of this because the only thing they're looking at is the project set number, okay. This is how they actually billing them, and this is a set sequence number that they're actually basing their analysis on, all right. So um, what would happen is that once they look at this, and we would need to know exactly what um, record we want to look at under the sequence, and what I may have to do on this particular one, okay, I'm going to have to set up some type of list of the different sequences, all right, if there's any sequences involved with this project number, okay. So what I'm going to go back to the design view, design view in this, all right, and what I want to know is there within this table, right, is there a project number listed in here. So I'm going to copy this table, and I think I already have it out, but if it is there, it's there. If it's not, then I'm not even worried about it because I'm going to pull it up again anyway. So I'm going to design view. So what I'm going to do, I'm look at this. So what I want to know is there a project number, okay, part of the set number. Excuse me. Okay, so we have the account number, right? And then we got project set sequence number. Customer number. Now, the thing is this right here. This one I know for sure that this is an issue. Number one, and I may leave it the way it is, okay, until I can come up with some type of analysis on this. Because the project number, all right, will always start off differently than the set sequence. This whole thing here. This is how we actually build it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go into the project part of the save form, and just to see exactly what we're looking at, okay. But I also have to identify the fact that, okay, what is this here and I'm gonna look at this customer number here. Okay, this customer number is gonna be the basis of our investigation. Okay, so I'm gonna be testing this record. I can put it in my notes right here instead of me doing all of that. Okay, so that's what I do. I don't know. I'm trying to. Okay. Testing. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna say testing. Count. I don't know why it's doing this so small like that. It should be doing this small. A little bigger than that. Testing account. Number, and I'm going to paste this in here. So I know that this is the record I'm testing. Okay, so I'm going to say, I'm going to put a block in that. Alright, so that's the number I'm testing. Alright, so I'm testing this record. Now, the thing is, why am I testing this record? Okay, so that has to be known as well. So what I'm be doing, basically, I'm be testing this record based on. Let me go ahead. Why it's not giving me the spaces that I'm looking for. Okay. Okay. So here, here. That's right. Okay, I'll do it later. That. Okay. What the heck? Why it keeps doing that, man? Okay, so we're going to be testing the project number. Okay, now the project number that they have, that I see that they have here, is here's the project set number. Okay, all right. So it's saying this project set number here is associated with this record. Okay, which me working with this, okay, this right here is how we go about billing them. Okay. Okay, this is number being generated. is being generated for. Go back to design view, set number. Right, is that right? So project set number. Yeah, project set number. Okay. Project set number. Okay, so the number being generated is this. Let's say field name, and I'm gonna say this. Okay. Now what the heck? I don't know why this thing keeps on moving around like that. Okay. Set number. Okay. All right. So let's say this, and what I'm trying to do right now, I'm trying to figure out. Well, not trying to figure out. I have to go into the project, okay, portion of this database and look at exactly what is being listed under that. Okay. So, I think it's this, the project worksheet. So, what I want to do is I'm gonna go ahead and generate this form view, right? And okay, so that is right. The project set number. So, so that's absolutely right. Okay, so this project set number is that, and the project number is this. Okay, so okay, all right. So all right, this is how we build a whole project. Okay, just like that. The project set number is based on the project set sequence number, right? And that's how we build them. Okay, each sequence number will generate a different project set number under the project itself, right? Okay. Um, then you got the account project number ID. Okay, so we want to make sure now this project account project number ID identify with this customer. Okay, and the set number is based on the set sequence. Okay, all right. So that is right. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to determine once we look at where's the form? Okay, so we need to identify once we generate this form. Okay, we push this and we do this. Okay, we know this is the account number, right? Probably set sequence number. Make sure that's right. Right, we know this is the problem set sequence account number. Now we want to do, we want to look at, we want to find out what is the project number associated with this project set number. Okay, we want to find out what sequence of the project number this is related to. All right. Now, I'm gonna have to just I'm gonna have to do some more research on that because of the fact that I know for sure that there's a possibility I don't have that set up because see each account worksheet base ID and it has a different project set sequence number. All right. Even though the account is associated with this customer, all right, there are, depending on what level of the project we're working on, it have a different sequence number. All right. Okay. Because that's how we bill it. Okay. Um, so let me go ahead and close this out like that. Okay, and then go on back to our document. Okay, so the project number. Okay, the number been generated is this for the okay, which okay, so which we bill based on the project set sequence number, right? Which is project set sequence number. And again, I'm gonna have to look at this. Go ahead and do form view. So, we got a project set number, and then we got the project ID, project set number. Okay, then we got project number. Okay, so this is not the record, but I'm just looking at it because this form is generated based on another form. Okay, so we're just looking at the first record that's listed here, right? Which all this test data, something like that. So okay, so the problem set sequence number, as we know, is this problem set sequence. So go to design view, and the project set sequence number, right? So we want to copy that, and we're going to listen here that the problem, see, which will be based on the what problem set sequence number. Okay, that is used to identify each portion of the project that is being billed. Okay, this is being billed. Okay, so say that. Okay, so going back to our data sheet. So we know that once we click the customer research audit button, okay, all right, it review the review record form. Okay, this we'll click that button, and we want to make this back design mode. So okay, we say review record details. Okay, which we have listed here. Okay. Okay, so we list record details. Let me get everything down. I don't even really use that sequence number. But this is an important factor here. Okay. So that uses that at each portion of the project. So we're going to make that italic and bold. identify each portion of the project. And I think I'll go ahead and just underline that as well. Okay, these factors are very important. Okay. Okay. So now the question is how we're going to go about pulling that information, okay, into this scenario of events. Right. So once this button is clicked, of course, it generates. Make sure. Go to events. Okay, go to events and events. Click. I thought I had that on it. Yo, event data. Event. I thought I did that already. View record details. Okay, I didn't do that because there's more information I want to display here. Okay, so we got the project number, and this is based on this table. Look at this table right quick. Okay, and this is a repository of all the different projects that we have. And of course, I'm gonna do some filters on this too. Okay, because it's not gonna, if the record doesn't have X, Y, and Z, um, it's not gonna be shown. All right, so that's number one. Um, and we're looking at all the different possibilities of what's going on. Um, we got balances and everything like that. So the thing is whether or not I want to show those things. Okay. So in here. So if I form design, existing fields. Okay, the thing is, okay, so it says project number. Look at this. Go back to form view. Um, okay, so this is not even being worked. Okay, it doesn't even have a project. So this is a good scenario. So we need to generate. First of all, we need to generate a project number for this project, which it does not have. Okay. You can never start a project without initiate a project number. All right. So it doesn't have a project number as listed. Okay. So what we're gonna do? So we're gonna say review detail, record details. So and when we click review record details, exactly what do we want to see when this happens? Now, it says project condition. What is a project condition? Um, put here. I'm just gonna put this in here just to see something, right? Project funded. dropped down. Both of these have dropped down. Okay, so I have here, move this over. Fund it. Project condition. Okay, and we're going to, like I said, we just want to see what this says when I generate it. So I'm going to save it first. And I'm going to look at forum view and see exactly what it's showing me here. Okay, so it's a pre-approved project. And pre-approved project, and project is funded. Okay, so now what I want to know is how much has it been funded for. So I'm gonna go back to design view, and I'm gonna see, is there a budget amount listed in this thing here, which is most likely there's no budget amount here. Shouldn't be. Department account balance. Okay, we got some things here. Mm, I just want to see something here. So I want to know project owner. Project owner here. Okay, signed. Project manager. Project manager. D. Okay. Project being tracked. And trying to be tracked. Office Corp ID. Okay, there's a lot of factors in here that we need to list in this thing here. Okay, and I'm gonna have to, because all these are um, resource function. So I can say resource name, resource function. Let's see, resource level. I don't need that. Group. Okay, so there's a lot of things I can list here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go ahead and just I'm gonna put this on pause, and I'm going to um, pretty much restructure this whole thing so it makes sense. Okay. All right. Stand by. Okay. So this is a situation. I made a couple of modifications as I was just explaining to you about inside of my project flowchart. Okay. Now, what it is that uh, if you review what I had before, okay, I added some more modifications to my form. And what I was thinking about, okay, when I was adding these different fields, what I wanted to display. Now, this information right here, I was thinking about putting department monthly budget, and this budget can be based on um, the customer, all right, the budget for this project, or it can be a budget based on um, the resources that we have that we can use in order to extend projects internally. All right. So the thing is, this right here are department level um, budgets. Okay, but it has nothing to do with the customer. All right. So this is what I'm going to do now. As I open up this form, okay, as you can see, um, this is how it looks. So what it is that I will click the search button, okay, and of course it brings this up, right? And none of this information right here you can't update it, anything like that. Okay, so it's like that. Now, when they look down here, there's a resource name and all this like that. All this can be changed, depending on the the with the project manager. Now the resource is basically the skill technical level that the person has in order to work on this project. Okay. So I say general labor, supervisor, anything like that. Now the company that they were working with is basically they working with an outside source, and what they're doing, they just overlooking a project. Okay, outside. All right, and that's what I mean general labor. So uh, it can be technical, anything like that, but a general labor supervisor can be, it's not like labor, it can be anything, okay? Um, and then you got skilled labor worker, and then you got the technical administrator, all right. But that right there is just something to be seen, all right. So, the next level of a concern would be this review record details. Now, what it is that what is it that I want to see, all right, concerning this particular record. So, um, if I go, which I'm gonna put this back into design view. So, if I go back, all right, and I want to look at some of the tables, all right, the tables so that so it's not really this. Now, I'm gonna look at the table, and you got billing details. Okay, let's look at this billing details. Okay, let's look at this right here. What's in this table here? Okay, so account billing details. So it's nothing in this table. Billing details. All right. Okay, so project work conditions. Let's look at this. There's none in this table. Okay, so these are factors. Okay. Let's see. Adjusted cost worksheet. Let's look at this. This. Okay, it's not there. Okay. So these tables I'm suspecting need to be loaded with information. Okay, once we get the project going. All right. So as you see here in this, it has audit number ID, project group name ID. So this information will have to be populated with that data. Now, what I'm gonna have to work on in this spreadsheet, I mean, excuse me, in this form here, because this has already been identified. Okay, and within this form, now this form here is actually a new form. Okay. Let me see here. Go back here. Close this out. Yeah. Oh, okay, I know what I did. I'm just screwing up. So, as we look at this form, okay, so this form here is actually a new form. So what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna create another document and specify what these features, all right, um, have to display and what are the conditions, all right, of the information that's in this, in on this form, all right. And so that's going to take a little bit because I'm going to have to do more research, analysis, and stuff like that on that. But this is a good start, all right. The next step will have to be how am I going to put information into this table, all right. Because when I say view details, um, let me see, accounting, work conditions. Of course, it's not going to be that. There's a lot of information out here, so I'm going to look at something. So it's approved project sets. Let me look at this. Sequence number, reference build number. See, these are the reference build numbers. So which these two together will be the project number. All right. So if I am working with a project, right, and let's see, and I want to see, so it does not equal no. I think that's how they do it. Okay, so all right. Okay, so okay, so I'm gonna clear. I know I had. Where did I put that? Here it is. It's filtered here. Okay, so I need to find out the project number associated with this, because this table had to be filled, right? So when I say approved project sets, the approved project sets will be the projects that are being worked, okay, and they have been assigned to a team, all right. Which to this point, there's nothing in these tables, okay. So you have that. So once the project has been approved, okay, it's supposed to go into this table. So what I'm going to do here, I'm gonna close this out right quick. I'm gonna say no, I want to save it. And I'm gonna rename this. I'm not gonna rename this. I'm gonna put it in my document. And in here, under here, view record details. Okay, so in this, I'm gonna put in here um, a shape, and it's gonna be what's this? Is internal storage, right? Okay, so I'm gonna do this. I don't want this. It says fill. This is no fill. Okay, and of course it's oh, okay. I ain't putting that in it yet. I thought I did. I thought I put something in already. Let's so dark. I think I probably put it in there twice, but I didn't. Okay. Why is it done? Oh, okay, because it's too fucking big. That's why. Reduce the size of it. And make this something like. Look at that. I got it. I got too many. Okay, so I gotta make this smaller. Of course, just say make this about 12. All right. And of course, table. I did it. Oh, let me do this again, man, because I screwed up. Here. Make sure I didn't do that. Let's see. Go back here. Edit. Copy. Okay. It will be populated. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Where am I here? Will be populated with only approved project level assignments. Okay. All right. So, and that's when this button it says review details. All right. So, go back to my document and make sure I input that because okay, explanation of costs. This form, cost form, table explanation of costs, determine the final cost of services reach render to the client. Okay, so up here, main tasks. Up here, accounting, description. Okay, we got project set number. All right, so we'll go down project sequence number. Okay, this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this. All right. Okay, so and this is going to be based on the review record details button. see. Populate the data populated within the. No, okay. Within. See. Okay. Assignment. The above data will be based on above data will be based on the information, the results populated. I'm gonna say results. That's probably better. Populated and populated when the okay. So when we click this button, so I'm gonna put this arrow here. All right. Really? Okay. So this table um, the results, the table will be populated with only approved project level assignments. Okay, that sounds pretty good. We can work with that. That text outline, shape outline, weight. Do it like that. It might be that big, but that's cool. Okay. So that's how that's going to work. Okay. So um, I will have to I either have to create a form or I'm gonna have to look through my forms and see exactly where the data is going to come from and how I'm going to trigger that data to be pushed into this table. Okay. So that would be our next session. All right. Okay. So at this particular time, we're going to do a quick review of what we've been working on. Okay. We'll go up here to this. And this actually this says the 29th, but I'm going to extend it. I'm going to say March 28th to 9th to the 30th. Okay, because that's basically what's going on. Okay, to the 30th. Because this is only a continuation of what we've been working on. All right. So right now it's 5. Of course, I have not been working on this since then. I've been working on this since about it had to be about it wasn't 4 o'clock this morning, but it was around. I'm gonna say about 7 o'clock. I think I can actually look back on the video and see exactly, but I changed that later. Okay. Okay, and I'm stopping at 5:20 p.m. But I'm not going to stop working. Okay. Doing my research. But as far as me utilizing the system I'm using to communicate with you, I'm going to stop it and then I'm going to continue on. So, review. In this whole process, okay, make sure I save my document. In this whole process, what we have been considering is how we're going to manage a project and how it will impact the end results of our success. Okay, so the initial phase is once we decide either internally that we're going to work on a project, the first step would be, is there funding? Okay. Once it has been determined that there's funding, then what we'll do is to find out whether or not there's a customer or a department that would be working on some type of task which we would make into a project. Okay. The next phase would basically be, um, to figure out whether or not, if it doesn't exist, is this a new customer or is it a customer that we already been working with? Okay. Once that has been established, okay, we will input new or core customer data. Okay, so that means we'll pull that infinite data. Uh, Once, okay, we complete that, we'll look at that information and find out who was working with that client. Okay, and what information they know about the current project. All right. Now, if they have information, once we realize that consultant has information, that project information, that project manager have information about this customer's need, then we will find out exactly what were the benefits of working with this customer. All right. Now, once that is established, okay, we'll put the once we establish, we'll input whatever information we need, okay, and pull that customer up. All right. Now I have A, B, and C. You know what I'm saying? A, B, and C. And it says here customer name, customer number is it new, is yes, is no, input current customer name and account. Then it goes to B. B is here. Okay, input customer name, a customer account number to verify. So we verifying this customer either existed or it's a new customer. Okay, if it's a new customer, then there's another process we have to go through, which would not be detailed out in this document. Okay, then we review the customer client information. Then we will submit a customer request to application section, and then an applicable department. Okay, the applicable department will pick up the project or they will assign it to a team. All right, and if there is not a team um, um, associated with it, okay, then we'll go to the customer service menu and then reestablish that customer. All right. Now, what we'll do after that, we'll look at the counts adjustments button. Okay, we'll click the count adjustments button, or okay, we will go to F. So we go to E or F. Okay, which do I have F in here? F is a whole new different area. So let's see if we go back. E. Okay. Submit customer request to applicable section. Okay, applicable section department. They go to F. Right. So I haven't defined what the applicable set because then that goes into a whole new different PowerPoint presentation. All right, because right now we determine that this information does exist and we can go back and research that customer to either open up another account or continue to work with the customer. Okay, so now we'll go back in. This right here says when customer exists. Okay, that's what this is all about. Okay, when customer exists. Now, if customer does not exist, like I say, I have not created a spreadsheet based on those factors. Okay, so all this is based on when a customer exists. Okay, so that's why I have it when customer exists. Okay, so then we'll look at the count, and then we have to factor, the funding, approval, adjustments, and stuff like that. And we do that by we'll put our search criteria in there. Okay, once we put our search criteria into the database, it will allow us to know or see that customer's current standing. Okay, so we input the search criteria, which will put the customer either their order number in or their customer and see if they have an open balance. Okay, if they have an open balance, okay, then it goes into a different direction. Okay, which now we have to go into investigations. Okay, and again, that's a total different subject, right? So we assume that this customer does not have an open balance. Okay, if the customer does not have an open balance, okay, we will know if the customer has account number, right? If the customer does not have an account balance, then we'll send the request back to the project manager to submit a customer account number for a customer account number. Okay, but if the customer does has a customer number, okay, then we proceed to H. Now we have to determine, is the customer project outside the current project budget. Now the project budget, it doesn't have to deal with the customer itself, but it has to deal with whether or not we as a company do we have the staff mandated to work on additional assignments. Okay, that's the key. Now let's say that we don't have. Okay, what we're gonna do then? So we have to go to the project manager database, project manager control menu, and begin a new project request. Now the project request can be anything. Okay, it can be, okay, we need to start recruiting and try to figure out, what we need to do next, which we see here in our forms, right? Let's see, control menu. Let's see. Okay, now control menu. So we look at resources, all right, which I have not created any. I have not created any uh, um, um, triggers for this right here. Okay, but that goes off into something totally different. All right, so which we will work and find out that. Okay, so again, um, we go to the project manager control menu. Okay, to begin a new project request. Now, if they do not have, okay, a budget, all right, then we inform the accounting department for investigation. Okay, processes. All right, so we assume we call this right. Okay, ADI processes. Okay, and that's in investigations. Okay, so and that would be a different approach. All right, so we're not going to that right now. So once we go to the project manager control menu to begin a new project request, we'll click the project button, and then once we click the project button, it will go to the customer project account budget screen, customer research audit form. All right, that will allow us to go through the the forms, right? The form that we have created, the form we're just viewing. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the form view. And once we look at this form, okay, this customer form, once we look at this form and we pull back that customer, at that particular time we determine whether or not we have the resources, okay, to work, okay, on that project. Now, all these things. Now, like I say review record details, which we will go back into our document, our project management document, and we will have to go through these steps. The testing record account, customer number. We have to do all this testing. Okay, so now what I have to do is basically is create some type of uh, a query that will pull data from certain tables and create some type of uh, um, um, data gathered, data gathering or data resource document that I can look at this particular customer and see where that customer standing is. Not only that, I have to figure out if a button is going to be associated with that, so we can click on that button to see who is available. Okay, what like what resources are working on something or not. Okay, so all those are factors. All right, um, and that's when I first test, and a second test. Okay, which I said this is A. She wouldn't be A, but okay, we have to go into the explanation of cost, right, and figure out exactly what um, has been spent so far and what has been accumulated through the process of working with this particular client or within the department. All right. Once we have gathered all information, or the accounting section gather all information, they do analysis on what's supposed to be going on. They do an audit, and then they generate some type of diagnostic report saying, well, this is what we have, this is what we need, and, make other company level projections and what the next steps need to be. Okay, all right. So that's where we are right now. And again, I would like to thank you for um, joining us, coming out and uh, reviewing, what we have to offer and everything like that. Hopefully, within, let's see, the next couple of days, most likely I have something in place where that we can sit down and have an open discussion on um, what's next. Okay. Now, if you have any questions about what's going on, all right, and you think that we need to sit down and have an open discussion or whatever the situation may be, um, I will create a Skype class, all right, open discussion, and we can talk, all right. But once I publish this video and it's out there, and if you decide that you want to join our discussion or try to help us troubleshoot what's going on in this whole process, let us know. Okay, put a comment in the comment section. Um, but you have to be part of our business blog site. Okay, again, our business blog site is let's wait for it to pull up. It's taking a little while to do it, whatever the reason. Okay. Okay. You go to our business blog site, and then once you're on our business blog site, of course, you have to join. And also, you will go down to the project management database section that's in this document, in this on this website, and then you would ask your questions. Okay, you can ask questions about whatever. Um, Again, this is intermediate level structured information resources level 4. Um, I haven't really got to this level yet. Right now, we're still in an intermediate. The advanced will be more structured, and it will be based on the people who have been working with me for a long time, and it's based on how much information they know about what they have learned and how much they can regurgitate that information back to me, and then those students will be the ones that will have the opportunity, okay, to be put on assignments. Okay. All right. So then we go into the structured information and resources. That's another tactic of us working with our customers, gathering information, and then our network for business opportunities and clients. That'll be another structure class, and your computer application systems and the use of its fleet of its features. Okay, and then learning how to obtain information about your company for reports and meetings. Okay, now it could be either our company, your company, or we working together to make things happen. All right. So I really encourage you to look at and be familiarize yourself with my trainer level one. I mean, level one through 1 and 2. Beginners, part 1 through part 3. If you want to go off into the other ones, okay, you can do that. The more information you know, the better. Okay. So, again, you go out to my business blog. You go out to my business blog site, and you can either once you do that, you sign up. And I do encourage my um, uh, my my team and those who have been making contributions to the Shephard Enterprise LLC Business Administration Information Systems Consultants. Thank you very much. It has been beneficial to the company, and it has helped us to generate the information that we have to pay for our domain site and all the features that we have and all the applications that we purchase to make this video possible. Okay. Again, I encourage you to either um, go to our business blog site, and then you click on this link where you can make monthly contributions, or you can make one-time contributions, or what you can do, you can right here on this video, you just bring your iPhone up or your phone up, scan the QR code. The one on the left is for Cash App. The one on the right is PayPal, and donate whatever you can. It doesn't have to be a lot, just show us that you are a contributor. It can be $2, $5, $10, anything like that. Okay. But whatever you contribute to our organization does help our company, and it do help us to be able to get out there and work with other companies and other people who want to get involved in working with us, but just don't have the financial means to do it. Okay, so we are trying to grow our company so that we can get out there and help people who are trying to start companies and get them up to speed so they can have a greater resource um, uh, uh, um, repository that they can reach into and to get with and talk to people who can help them be more successful. Okay? Again, thank you very much and be prepared for our next training session. Thank you.